Cameras have popped up in a number of neighborhoods across our area. People who live near them had no advance warning and aren't getting many answers about what information is being collected and why.
That's why they called News 10 NBC investigative reporter Jennifer Lukey. Jen got right to work tracking down some answers.
We noticed it Tuesday.
Mary and Mark Mann take nightly walks in their Brighton neighborhood. Earlier this week, they noticed something strange near one of the street signs.
I saw the chains all over the pole, which we hadn't seen before. Looked up and said, whoa, what is that? My son was like, that's a camera. And it's pointed over towards the circle there, which is interesting. We thought if it's a traffic thing, it might be pointed down that way or down the other way.
That was Susan Kavanaugh's first thought, too, when a camera popped up basically right in front of her home in Penfield.
Number one, who put it here? Number two, what are they looking at? And why is it pointed at a residential neighborhood and not at a main road?
Nicole Feltz wondered the same thing when one went up at the entrance to the cul-de-sac where she lives.
I looked up the number for the state DOT, called them. They said we have no idea what it is. Told me maybe to call Monroe County, so I called Monroe County DOT. No idea. They told me to call the town. Called the town of Penfield. I talked to 3 different people at the town, DPW, the town clerk, and there was one other person. No idea, told me to call 911.
The supervisors for the towns where these cameras are popping up tell me they didn't have much advance notice.
The way I learned that they were deploying these cameras last week was I started getting calls about them out of the blue for the first time.
After we started making calls to get some answers, the DOT filled in the town supervisors this morning.
These are traffic counting cameras. I asked them what the cameras do. Do they take videos of, actually video activity in the neighborhood? They said no, the cameras only serve to create a register, a list of how many cars are going through.
A spokesman for the state DOT tells me that New York is federally mandated to collect traffic data on streets across New York every single year. They have moved to traffic counting cameras, he says, because they are safer than laying those tubes down in the middle of the street to collect the data.
The cameras are expected to be up in any given neighborhood for about a week, but during our interview in Brighton today,
Hey, is he taking it down?
a crew came to take this one down. Later in the day, the ones in front of both Nicole and Susan's homes came down too. Aside from the lack of communication, many are wondering why bother counting the cars on such sparsely traveled roads. Nicole can tell you how many people travel down hers.
Those of us who live here and maybe a FedEx truck or 2 a day, but that's about it.
The DOT says many of the locations are chosen at random. Any road that is subject to federal funding is subject to counting. Jennifer Lukey, News 10 NBC.